So this is lesson 7. What you're going to be thinking about is where did all of the water in the air come from and how did it get there? So you're going to think back. This is what we covered in the lesson 6 for what happens to the air in a cloud. Think about those questions. And then you're going to think about what would be happening in different parts of this really tall cloud, the top, the middle-ish bottom, and right below the cloud, what would be going on with the air. You're going to read this article. Here's the first page, and then there's the second page of it. Then you are writing up 2 important facts you learned and a question that you need to answer. And then we're moving on to measuring humidity. So this is a prediction question. And you're going to stop and think about how could we make something more humid? How do you think that this really humid air would compare to the air outside? You get to watch this video. Make sure you're in present mode. And you're going to summarize what Ms. Stankovich found out in this video. Then here is a setup for an investigation. You are going to see different bottles that are set up as environments like a beach, a desert, snow, puddle, lawn, and then a control. So it's just empty. There's nothing in there. You're going to predict what would happen to the amount of water in the air. So stop and think. We're going to use this soda bottle to mimic all of these different locations, and then one will be left blank so you can see what happens when nothing is put in the bottle. So as we go through, this is an explanation of what happens in the investigation. You are breaking it down. What is the independent variable? What was changed on purpose? What should be kept the same? What's the dependent variable? What's going to be measured in this experiment? And what do we need to record in order to measure our dependent variable? Remember, we care about how water is getting into the air and where does it come from. Then you have the results. The percentage is the humidity level down here for each environment. Then you are answering the making sense questions. So which container provided evidence that water went into the air? You want to go back to this data. Think about which one or ones had really strong evidence that water went into the air. And how did you know that there was water in the air? What does this tell us about where the water outside could be coming from? Think about the different water sources in these different setups. If there's one that has more water in the air than others, where did this water come from? And then thinking back to the setup, the 2-liter bottles were put under a lamp, and the lamp is going to represent light. So what exactly is the light doing with matter to help water get into the air? Then you're done with lesson 7.